We have a couple YouTube. We kind of quit doing YouTube just because it's just I don't like it, to be honest.
It's another world.
There's only 2 of us, and we're running a company and a podcast and Instagram and a Twitter it's just too much.
That's a different way of saying what I was going to say, which is if you really want to do YouTube and do well on it and represent your brand properly, you need to have some people that can dedicate time to it.
Or that's all you do is YouTube.
Right.
And then Instagram is only there to promote your YouTube.
Right, exactly.
Which we've chose not to. So we've had 2 videos that have kind of popped off. And so from this point forward, I'm going to record on video so you can watch this part on YouTube. So hello, YouTube. I'm going to answer the questions for the Early Times Bottled and Bond. That video consistently, I think we posted like 10 months ago, maybe close to a year ago. Whenever Sazerac bought it, that's when we did the video. And so I just wanted to go through the comments and straighten some stuff out. That being said, I haven't seen this video since we put it up. So I don't remember exactly what we said, but I remember what we covered. So I wanted to go through, and because recently there's been some hate mail, and I actually wrote myself a note. I don't think people expect me to respond the way that I'm in the same manner that you're talking to me. Because on YouTube, you want to be like, oh, everybody, keep following me and like and subscribe. We just told you we don't care about YouTube. So if you leave a nasty comment on YouTube or something that I perceive as attitude, I'm going to come at you the way you come at me. So if you come on there and you ask a simple question, we can have a discussion. But when people come in and type in all caps, I'm going to respond. So I've been doing that, and everybody that I've done it with has either stopped responding or they ask more questions and they're chill about it, and everything's good. So I wanted to go through some questions. So for those that don't know, just backstory, we teach whiskey classes. We used to use this bottle of Early Times Bottled and Bond. I don't know if you can really tell on the camera, but I'll throw an overlay up. The bottles are different. They're shaped different now. The caps are different. One's plastic, one's metal. We have been using this plastic top for whiskey classes for a long time, and we do them blind. Nobody knows what it is, and then people are blown away at how cheap it is and how delicious it is, and then we tell the story about Bottled and Bond. Right. There's nothing else really to say about that. We're familiar with this, more familiar than the average YouTube page, Instagram page.
Probably.
Yeah, because we use it all the time in classes. We teach it. That's not to say that we're experts. I'm just telling you, we know a little bit more than I drank it once or twice.
Sure.
We've been through 50 bottles of this.
At least.
Yeah. All right. So on the back, it says DSPKY 354, DSPKY 414 on the plastic top. So 354 is where it was distilled at, which means there was a mash bill, they distilled it, and then they put it in a government-bonded warehouse, and then 414 is where they bottled it at. They pulled it out of that warehouse, and they bottled it. 354 is located in Louisville. 414 is located in Louisville. Okay? Yes, has to be 4 years old. So yes, this is the same juice, but that doesn't mean nothing changed. Everyone's like, nothing changed. It changed. And I'm going to get to that. So the 414, that's in Louisville, which means they're right there in the same spot. Like they're distilling it, likely putting it in a warehouse somewhere in Louisville, and then they're bottling it. Okay. And then Sazerac bought it. And so this new bottle, same thing, DSP KY 354. That's where it was distilled, which is in Louisville. It was bottled in DSP KY 12, which is in Bardstown, which is 41 miles away. They don't take barrels to Bardstown, just like they may not even take barrels to Louisville. It could be the same process. But the difference here is there's 41 miles now that it's traveling. So they put them in plastic totes, which you want to tell that part while I pour?
Yeah, so when we made this original video, we had an inclination that something was happening during the transfer process and the bottling process that changed the flavor. Because as everyone's mentioned, it's still a bottled and bond product, so that part hasn't changed. But whenever we went to Louisville last year to do our Executive Bourbon Steward class, we took advantage and we got to go do a tour of the Brown-Forman cooperage and speak with some of the folks there. And they confirmed that is indeed how the juice makes its way over for bottling. They put them in these big, you've seen them before on the interstate or anywhere else. They're big plastic totes. Sometimes they're sometimes they're in a metal cage. But that's how they transfer stuff, and it's clean. I'm sure it's sanitized and whatnot.
So, but now I brought that up to a master distiller, that works for a major company. That there's some of it in here. Everyone knows who this guy is. Brought it up to him, and he said, of that size, they're likely putting it in tankers, like just huge tankers, and filling these tankers. So it may not even be plastic totes, could be the tankers.
Didn't think about that.
I didn't either. And he was like, but you're absolutely right. The profile change, they're all going to be different because it's a batched product, which means they're not single barrels. They're all going to be batched together to taste a certain way.
Yeah.
They're all the same age. They're all, you know.
To be fair, I think when we had the conversation, now that I'm thinking back, I don't think he said, yeah, they're definitely for sure putting them in plastic totes. I think the conversation was that's how they move other things. So it's a safe assumption that that's the way they're doing it. Yeah. But putting them in tankers with the volume also makes sense.
Makes more sense. So I poured on the left, the new one. On the right is the old one. And I'm going to just turn around, and Gus is going to, what's that song? Whatever the reels that everybody's making.
Yeah.
Stupid. I hate it. He's going to switch them around. Not that it matters. We're just proving that they're different. But I have a feeling that I'm going to pick the old one. But you go ahead, and I'm going to do the same for you.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Now I'm going to do yours. Turn around. Okay. It'd be cool if we're that similar if we did the same thing. Anyway. All right. So I wanted to read some comments. Why wouldn't you do this particular comparison blind? Makes zero sense. We've done it blind a lot of times, but we're going to do it blind for you now. All right. Next comment. Give up neat.
The reason it doesn't make sense is because the goal was not to determine which one we like the most. The goal was to determine if they taste different or not.
Yeah. Latest info receives that it's all brown Foreman juice, and Sazerac juice won't be ready until fall of 2024. Correct. We discussed that already. DSB KY 354 on both bottles. It's the exact same juice. But the thing is, and this is mentioned several times, I won't, so bottle and bond is a minimum of 4 years, can be longer. Correct. We agree. We said that in the last video. It can be older than 4 years. It is possible. This bottle is older than 4 years, and this was dumped right at 4 years so they could start making money. That's a possibility. Nobody knows. I mean, right? It's going to be a tightly held secret. We've asked Brown Foreman. They're not going to tell us.
Yep.
The new one's terrible. Definitely not old stock Brown Foreman juice. It is, but let it go. Sad part, I've been trying to find other times. Yep, been trying to find. I'm just going to, just for the sake of time, scroll all the way up to the top. So this is the most recent. This is the video. This is the comment that made us do it. So it says nothing changed. It takes 4 years to make bottled and bond. So if Sazerac changes the recipe, we won't know for 4 years. Correct. But something changed, which would be
the process leading up to bottling.
Right. So yeah, nothing changed for the juice when it came out of the warehouse. Yes, same juice, but something changed between same juice out of the warehouse and inside this glass. Something changed because it tastes different, which is pretty much what I said. So here's the question is back. What do you mean plastic totes? We discussed that. So they said they couldn't take the whiskey out of the barrels before 4 years. It wouldn't be bottled and bond. Correct. Bottled and bond there's several before. Every time we have this conversation, I don't list them all. So it has to be done in the same distillation season. That proves it's all the same age. It has to be done by the same distiller, which proves the same stuff. Has to be bottled and bond for 4 years minimum. So less than 4, you're right. It would not be bottled and bond. Has to be 100 proof. We understand there's more than one rule, and we always get, that's the follow-up comment. It's like, you also, it's like, I know. And he said, by the way, I enjoyed your video. So I just said, hey, we're gonna do this. So I think we covered everything, right?
I think so.
Okay. Does that make more sense to everybody?
Yeah. It's our thought.
Everybody says yes.
Yes.
So while no one knows, but I am telling you that they taste different. If you don't think they taste different, your palate is not tasting a difference. That doesn't mean they don't taste different. My palate, I can taste it. It's different. Your palate, you can taste it. It's different.
Yeah, and I think part of it is just our familiarity with
the product,
with the old one. We were so familiar with it. We used it regularly in classes, and so
it's like the deer analogy. How deer hear with the car. If you're driving down the road in your car and you hear something and you ask the guy next to you, like, you hear that? That sounds off. And I'm like, no, I don't hear anything, dude. You know your car. So you know your car's making a weird noise. I don't know your car. So if you don't know this product, you won't understand that it's a little off. I know this product. I use it all the time. Okay.
Good analogy.
Thank you. So left one versus the right one. And I can tell on nose alone which is which. You got some fancy floating in there?
Yeah.
Good. Alcohol will kill it. The colors are basically the same, but the right one seems slightly, a tiny bit darker to me. And the right one smells better.
I do like the smell of this one better.
You like the smell of the new one?
This one has more. This one has more of the caramel and brown sugar that I like in.
Yeah, the right one just smells more oaky for sure. And that's what happens if something is longer aged. So I would agree that it's possible that it's maybe a couple of months older. And yes, it can change flavors that much. Okay. I can tell in taste. And this is today's January 6th. I just ruined my dry January. Not that I was going to do it, but first sip of the new year. Yeah. So this tastes younger. It smells more complex, which means it's probably younger. Am I right? Is the right one the old one?
I don't know. I didn't move them.
Okay. I didn't move yours either.
Okay. I don't remember. I
You
couldn't
don't remember what I said?
I couldn't remember which one you said was which. So I was like, shit, I'm just going to not move them. They'll remember.
Well, because I did it lazily. I was like, I don't want to forget which position I put them in. So I just was like, I'm not going to move them. I actually did this to the camera. And I was like this, and I put them back down. That's funny. I knew that we would do the same.
That's funny.
It was staged. Okay.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I can sit and call out notes and
yeah.
The point is they taste different.
They taste different. They smell different.
At the end of the day, they do not taste exactly the same. I would not hesitate to drink either of them.
Neither of them are bad. We're not saying
they're
that.
They're both on my bar.
Yeah.
I have this.
Same.
This is mine. I brought this in, and I have a couple of these as well. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just different.
Yeah. I mean, this is mine, so clearly I drink them too.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with it, but they're different. So that's a quick, short, simple, easy video. So there you go. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And if you want to hear the rest of the episode, you can find it anywhere podcasts are available except YouTube. You can just ask Siri to play Whiskey and Whitetails podcast, and she will play it for you. So thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Feel free to tell us everything we forgot to say in the comments below. And have a good